In every great story, there are winners and losers. There are those that step up to the challenge and those that crumble under pressure. Today, we talk about the latter. Let's go over the players I think, personally, are most deserving of the Dade Award. The Dade Award was initially a funny meme invented by esports historians and pundits Monte Cristo and Thorin on their show Summoning Insight. It was named after the formerly elite Korean mid laner Dade after he attended the Season 3 World Championship as a heavy favorite and was eliminated in groups. Not only that, but his team was eliminated due in large part by his poor individual play. And thus began the yearly tradition of handing out the Dade Award at each Worlds for the player that was simultaneously most hyped up and underperformed. Moving on to Season 4, we have the birth of EDG on the international stage. EDG was initially not a household name, but that changed in Season 4. The team convincingly won the LPL off the back of their superstar, Name. If you watched this guy back in the LPL at this time, he was it. His effortless team-fighting brilliance was 1 in a million, and that showed, leading to countless victories. Heading into the tournament, many analysts had him as one of, if not the best AD carry in the world. But Name, along with the rest of EDG, failed to live up to those expectations. After a disappointing group stage record of 3-3, the team was eliminated in Game 5 against Uzi and Starhorn Royal Club. As Uzi rose to the occasion, Name faltered, and as fate would have it, he would never reach those pre-Worlds highs ever again, slowly drifting away into obscurity. Now we come to Season 5, and the birth of the Gold 5 memes. Season 5 Worlds was an interesting blip in time. You had Fnatic with their perfect season coming into Worlds as a contender, you had Faker and SKT returning to Worlds after missing out the previous year, and you had the results of the Korean Exodus finally on the world stage. And their efforts led to the creation of strong contenders like EDG with Deft and LGD with Imp. And off the back of a dominant summer split and a Chinese victory at MSI, LGD was seen as a title threat from China. But it wasn't just Imp that made them special. Their mid laner, GodV, was something else at the time. But come Worlds, LGD collapsed like nothing we had seen up to that point from a title contender, and was a large part due to GodV's huge underperformance. And then there's Season 6 Worlds. Now, I know a lot of people would like me to place Doublelift or Bjergsen here for not making it out of groups with an incredibly dominant TSM team. But at least they have an excuse of an extremely difficult group that many top teams would struggle to get out of. And frankly, Bjergsen at least played pretty well for the most part. I'm going in a different direction for this year. Clearlove. Clearlove was a long-time jungler for EDG, and he was for a reason. Domestically, he was top tier. During the summer split of that year, he was 3rd in MVP voting, dominated MLXG in the finals, and headed into Worlds ranked 4th on the world's top 20 list. But once again, Clearlove and EDG failed on the international stage. For starters, they came 2nd in a group that didn't include any Korean teams, and he in particular suffered individual defeats by the hands of Jankos twice and even Brazil's Revolta. A 3rd straight quarterfinals exit was the final nail in the coffin for EDG and Clearlove. Season 7 Worlds was when the Dade Award starts to come under question. What if no one fully filled the criteria? What if everyone more or less lived up to the expectations or weren't that hyped up to begin with? These questions became commonplace over the last few years as teams and players became better and better. Still, for the sake of the list, I'm going with Khan. Now, Khan was considered the ultimate carry top laner from Korea, the likes of which the region had maybe never seen before. Domestically, it was always a top diff. Even the likes of SKT would fall to Longzhu as Khan ran over top. Come Worlds, Longzhu was one of the favorites to win the tournament, and they demonstrated those skills in groups, finishing with a perfect 6-0 record. But despite the impressive group showings, Longzhu got swiftly eliminated by Samsung Galaxy in the quarterfinals 3-0. And Khan played okay, but that's it. Now you can make the argument that it was the Ardent Sensor meta, so it was all about the bot lanes, but still, his inability to really have even one standout game in a 3-0 sweep was a little disappointing. For his previous hype and unceremonious exit at Worlds, I give the Season 7 Dade Award to Khan. The Season 8 World Championship Dade Award was even more difficult to determine. Once again, no player who was specifically hyped up played way below expectations, which is precisely why I'm going to do something that breaks the definition of the Dade Award. I'm going to elect a team, and that team is RNG. Led by Uzi, RNG had just pulled off the miraculous by beating Longzhu at MSI, and they continued on to win the summer split as well, fending off Rookie and Invictus Gaming. With those victories in the books, RNG came into Worlds as one of the big favorites. No one would have expected RNG to then lose in the quarterfinals to not even Europe's best team. They lost to G2 and Perks. It was an upset for the ages. The problem is no one played particularly poorly. You can say Xiaohu got outperformed and that's why they lost, but was he really that hyped up in 2018? Uzi was targeted by draft picks and strategies, and the players that were outperformed weren't that hyped up, and the hyped up didn't play that poorly. The other thing that makes the Dade Award difficult to give out is the circumstances, specifically the meta. The meta had shifted so much towards the end of the summer split and certainly during the World Championship. All the power picks and priorities were around topside, RNG's weakest link from the beginning. So one can argue the meta also played a significant role in their collapse. Now before I conclude on Season 8, I want to quickly shout out an honorable mention, KT Rolster. This team, like RNG, were also hyped up as a World's title contender. Perhaps the only true contender Korea had that year. And they had a team with Smeb, Score, Deft, and Mata all playing together. And that team lost in quarters. More importantly, they were on the verge of getting 3-0'd. So they deserve a shout out too. And that concludes part 1 of the Dade Award rundown. Stay tuned for part 2 where we go over Season 9, 10, 11, and this year's Worlds, Season 12. The results may surprise you. For more videos like this, please like, comment, and subscribe.